Now, page 4, the failing Democrat attempt to link so-called hate crimes to Donald Trump. The Democrats are telling us that in the era of President Trump, so-called hate crimes have increased. In other words, they would like us to believe that because of the 45th president, there is more racism. This is what the fascist left Democrat Party mainstream media cabal would like Americans to believe, that somehow President Trump is responsible for an increasing trend in so-called hate crimes. Now, common sense tells this theory is so much partisan nonsense, but the numbers also prove it. In 2014, there were 5,100 so-called hate crime perpetrators. 2016, 5,700. 2017, 6,300. Okay, so yes, there's a trend up. However, Donald Trump was not president 5 years ago, nor 3 years ago, when this trend in more hate crime arrests began. There has not been a huge spike since President Trump was sworn in. He assumed office during this trend, which, by the way, could be more of a result of increased diligent classification and reporting than an actual increase in hate crimes. So no, there is no correlation between so-called hate crimes and the presidency or Twitter feed of Donald Trump. However, there is a correlation between the modern Democrat Party and its hatred of the 45th president and its effort to paint him as a racist for partisan political purposes. This is really the lowest of the low. President Trump's Twitter feed is no more inciting violence than is Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders' pro-Antifa rhetoric. It is immoral, this media-driven campaign by the Democrats to link the president to these so-called hate crimes, and it's useless because, in the end, it's destined to fail. Yet, here's Robert Francis Beto O'Rourke, with help from the biased and corrupt mainstream media, using the tragedy in El Paso for his own personal political gain.
Sir, regarding the manifesto and everything that was in it, fears about Hispanic immigration and all that.
Stop tape. Let me speak for rational Americans. I can't speak for this nutcase in El Paso. Fears of Hispanic immigration. No. What Americans fear is unchecked illegal immigration. It does not matter the ethnicity. We want a secure southern border. We don't care about the ethnicity of the people who are violating our sovereign border. We care about an orderly system of legal immigration. But of course, here's the mainstream media making it about the color of somebody's skin or ethnic background and not about the obvious problem of a wide open border. And so this is a total setup question. This is a little softball that's being thrown right into the wheelhouse of Francis. Roll tape.
Any of this fall at the feet of President Donald Trump and
Stop
his...
tape. So there's a connection. If ever there was a leading question and there was a judge here listening to all these biased reporters asking these leading questions, I think that the judge, even an Obama judge, might say, no, that's a leading question. You're not allowed to ask it that way because you're necessarily making a link that isn't so. That's not true. That's a lie. So you're linking President Trump with this need by this nutcase in El Paso to kill. And there is no leak. But there you have Beto, soaking it all up, coiling up, ready, because this softball's coming in right over the plate, fat part of the plate. He's cranking up to hit it. Roll tape.
Rhetoric that's been growing over the last couple weeks and his...
Stop tape. So the last couple weeks of rhetoric of President Trump, and look at Beto, nodding, right? He's thinking. He already has his planned response. The rhetoric from President Trump, talking about being pro-America, talking about members of Congress who probably shouldn't be in the halls of Congress, who are not pro-America, who are anti-Semitic, talking about Baltimore, one of the great cities in this country that's unfortunately run by a bunch of lousy Democrats who care more about their power structure than keeping the city safe. That kind of rhetoric, you mean? You mean honesty rhetoric on Twitter, reporter, whoever you are?
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.